Thank you, Madam President and members. I want to just preface this with, I'm going to comment on this bill and SB 74 so that I won't have to get up, and I have prepared my comments for both, and we'll do it with one set of comments here. So I just want to let you know that it'll make it so I don't have to speak again, and it'll speed the process up. This is the most important vote that we'll take all year, the budget bill. This determines the priorities of where California will go in the next year. There's no doubt about it that COVID has set us back. How far back? We don't know, because we really haven't had real numbers. This process hasn't allowed us to get real numbers. We surely had the time. We even worked on a Sunday, I know, but we should have a conference committee. There's a game being played to get more money from the federal government. I've asked several times in the budget committees, how much are we getting from the federal government? No one can give me an answer. How many millions or billions? The question is, who funds the government? Whether it's state or federal, where does the money come from? Who pays taxes? Before we can hire one state employee, private businesses and people that work for those businesses have to pay a tax first. So before we have health care, in-home supportive services, a firefighter, a police officer, a school teacher, private businesses and people that work for those businesses pay taxes first. Now in 2012, we were in a recession, if you all recall, and we passed Prop 30 to avoid cuts to education. In 2016, we extended that tax with Prop 55, which ultimately helped create a surplus. And we were going to use this budget, do with this budget is we're going to cut education. Isn't that why we set up a rainy day fund? Now, what are the real priorities in this budget? The budget was put together by a small group of legislators. Here's the priorities that I found in this budget. AB 5, $22 million to enforce AB 5. Which means we're going after businesses again. Madam President, permission to read?
Without objection.
This is a letter from Edwin Lombard, who is CEO of the California Black Chamber of Commerce, on the future of AB 5. Black lives, black families, and black businesses have been devastated by the triple catastrophes of AB 5, COVID-19, and violent racism that permeates the very institution we rely on to protect our freedoms as Americans. The black men and women who have chosen to work for themselves are not asking for your protection from self-employment. We are not asking for your permission to earn a living as we choose by starting a business for ourselves or controlling our own future as independent contractors. We are tired of the paternalistic institutions that purport to protect us while defending, and propagating the systematic racism that has cost so many black lives. AB 5 has already crushed thousands of black businesses and will keep more from operating in this gig economy. Nearly 1 million Californians would lose jobs, opportunities, and independence if the future of AB 5 were up to you. If COVID-19 taught us anything, it is that people who lost jobs during the economic downturn realized they could work from home as independent contractors, make more money, and spend more time with their loved ones. We are not asking for your help or misguided protections, Just open the door and let us help ourselves. Sincerely, Mr. Lombard. What else is a priority in this budget? We're going to create 70 new positions for the High-Speed Train Authority. We're going to make these contractors state employees. $191,000 per position, $13 million. Look, let's not kid ourselves. The high-speed train is a boondoggle. We need to cut our losses and move on. Why don't we use things that do better things for the environment, like fund CAL FIRE and fire suppression? Put money towards roads that really need attention. What else is a priority in this budget? Actually, the bill we're talking about now. It's revenue. What is revenue? Revenue is a tax, which I explained earlier, on private people and businesses who pay their tax first. Revenue is simply another name for a tax increase. $9 billion over 3 years. $4.4 billion this year. Last year we were doing just fine, but this year they are going to show a loss that the state won't let them count against their taxes. That's a tax increase on businesses already affected by COVID. The same people that have already paid in Prop 30 and Prop 55. It is time we show some respect to these businesses. For the businesses and the workers that pay the bill. Another priority in this bill, $596 million to expand health care to immigrants here illegally. $65 million to expand the earned income tax credit to immigrants here illegal. $10 million in business grants for immigrants here illegal. What about the businesses that have played by the rules, that have had to shut their doors because of COVID, that have been paying for Prop 30 and Prop 55? You know, a couple of weeks ago, there were some tweets back and forth about the owner of Tesla, Elon Musk, who employs 10,000 people that pay taxes in California so that we can provide services. And one of the legislators in the assembly said, F you can get out of California. That's a priority that I think is misguided. Members, I long for the day that the people that actually fund this government get the respect from the legislature they deserve. I have a vision of a day that we sit down with real facts, real numbers, real solutions. This process has failed us. Some of you have been told you have to vote for this budget. Are you really representing the million people, constituents in your district? 4 or 5 people have sat down and they've wrote this budget. They've picked winners and losers in your district with phony numbers. No way that I would ever support this budget or the process, and you shouldn't either. I urge a no vote. Thank you.